Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the stage Margot Robbie and Will Smith.
Oh, they introduced us already? They said our names. Sorry, here we come.
You go.
Okay. All right, sorry. Hey. Oh, geez. Oh, sorry.
Hi, good to see you.
It's hard for me to walk in these heels.
Whoa! Those are amazing.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Sorry.
Amazing.
Oh,
Welcome, guys.
My microphone.
How are you?
It was cold out there. It was
Today or
chilly,
last
like the
night?
walking over.
Yeah, just that little bit, that tiny little corridor.
There's a little corridor.
I
Yes,
wanted to see the flamingos, but
They said they're flamingos. It's hard for me to
they're what?
imagine the flamingos. They said there's flamingos here, but when we walked through the cold corridor, it was hard for me to imagine they were still alive.
Yeah. They're like statues for the winter.
Yeah.
But they defrost when spring hits.
Oh man, sorry, the cold.
Thank you for being here.
No, we're very happy to be here.
Amount of people here who are going to ask you some questions. I'm going to start off selfishly though.
I know many of these people. I've seen them for years. Yeah, see? Absolutely.
Yeah. No touching. Thank you
Oh, no.
very much. I want to know what was the thing that first interested you about this whole project?
The impetus to make focus. You like that? I used a big word. You saw that?
took the thesaurus out last night.
Let's have my thesaurus. I want to say impetus tomorrow. I love the work of John and Glenn, the directors. They did Crazy Stupid Love, and I love that film. And when I read Focus, it was so interesting because it's so many different kinds of movies. They like completely ignore genre, So it's a heist film, but then it will be a bizarre comedy for a while, and then it's really serious and it's great action, and then there's a love story. As you were aware, you're aware there's a love story in the
heard,
film. Yeah, there's a wonderful love story at the center of the film. So I just loved how many different styles and flavors that they would demand of the actors, And we would be in scenes sometimes. We're like, this is serious, right? There's like, yeah, but have fun with it, and you would just get to go through so many ranges of the spectrum.
Margot, they write really well for women as well. They write great female characters, I think, as well.
They do. And like Will was saying, they said at the heart of it was a love story. So, there was a lot to do for Jess in that sense, because halfway through she's a woman scorned and kind of transforms her after that. So, they develop it really well.
She has a great journey, though. And I imagine
does.
it was fun to bring to life.
Yeah, it's really nice to have a character that has one starting point and is a totally different person by the end of the film. It's kind of nice to play with that. So I was lucky.
Who do you think's in control by the end of the film? More in control between the two? Who's in charge?
Who's in charge? Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's
Will, I am in charge.
Yeah, no. It's like kind of like on the set, like kind of just like on the set.
Well, I heard that when you kind of arrived on set, that you had this amazing confidence and kind of.
I'd call it bossiness more than confidence,
but
fine. Yeah,
No, the thing about Margot, she is absolutely certain of who she wants to be and what she wants to do. But she's absolutely certain of who she wants you to be and what she wants you to do too. So that was fun in the scenes. And she would say, no, not like, dude, so, I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. Do it, no, like, I've made a couple movies, Margot. I have some ideas too.
I bet you quite like that though.
No, you know what's great? She's right most of the time, which is fantastic, right? 90% of the time, if something doesn't feel right to her in a scene, it's correct, but I'm a man, I gotta go against it anyway. So, but her instincts are really brilliant. She can't always say why it doesn't feel right. She just says, just do it the way I said, So I learned to do that. But it was really, really fun working with someone with that level of instincts that were so different than my own.
Did you guys get much of a chance to improv on this film, or was it kind of sticking to script for the whole?
I feel like we improv'd quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because there are so many plot points that we obviously had to hit each scene, or hit
Yeah.
to a certain degree, or hide to a certain degree. So it shouldn't have left much room for improv, but the guys still really encouraged it.
Is there one scene that sticks out for you that was a kind of really good example of you
I
guys
think the
getting to
end
riff?
scene.
The end scene, oh my goodness,
Because when we did that end scene, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but when we did the end scene, it's quite dramatic, but there were takes where we were just like in hysterics.
Yeah.
And when you watch it, it's
It looks like it makes sense. You
Yeah.
know, but no, what's really great, what they do that's fantastic is they create a set where everyone's involved. So they get what they want and you're rolling, and they'll let anyone yell out a line, like, you know.
If it's funny, like,
if
someone
it's
should
funny,
say
if
it.
somebody just yells something out
Yeah.
that's funny, you say, oh yeah, Margot, say that. Somebody, the grip says, hey, he should say, you know, you're like, oh, hey,
Everyone's
Will, yeah, that's
involved.
funny, say that. So it's like this real great
It's good though.
family.
Everyone's in it together. Everyone's working towards the same goal.
It was a little awkward for me in the love scene, but other than that,
Hey, well, you should do this.
Will, put your leg up. Hey man, I've done this before.
Okay, questions from you guys. Let's start over this side. The lady, you feel comfortable with the start with
Yes,
this lady?
yes, absolutely. That's
Stand
my
up.
girl. That's my girl.
Wait for the microphone.
Okay.
Tell everyone who you are.
Yeah, I was just going to tell. My name is Rita. I'm still from Finland.
Hey.
Hi again. I just wanted to know, was it difficult to learn these tricks, and have you been robbed? And how, if you have been
Yeah.
robbed, how did it feel?
It didn't feel like anything because I didn't notice I was being robbed at the time. I've been pickpocketed very effectively, and I've been blatantly robbed, so that I was aware of.
Margot gets robbed all the time. I don't know. I'm like, how do you manage to get robbed?
Because I'm not
so
6'3" dude walking around.
Yeah, I guess it's like.
I'm an easy target.
She grew up in Australia where like people are nice all the time. So she's not. I was like, when I leave the house, 5% of my money's in my sock, another piece of it is in the back. You put some under your arm, like you split all your stuff up because you know you're gonna get robbed.
Yeah, I didn't have that. Yeah.
And how difficult were the kind of the tricks, I guess, of the trade to learn?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
The more you understand about it, the easier it gets. So the more you look into the psychological side of it, the more the physical side makes sense. Because you, to begin with, can't believe that you could steal something in plain sight. You're just like, they will catch me. There's no way I'm going to try that. But if you, and Apollo Robbins, who I think you've all met, I mean, when he explains, distraction and things like that, it makes the physical side of stealing a lot easier.
You tried it on mates and stuff since? And
I
kind of
have,
thing?
yeah.
Now, what what's really great though is the psychological side for me, the human behavior side. You just can't imagine that a human brain is that feeble. Like we think that we're aware and we're paying attention and we think we're on top of things, but right now everyone's looking this way. Anything could be going on over there, and the more attention we put forward, it's just completely blind. You have such huge blind spots. Apollo showed us a video, a surveillance video at a fight, right? You saw them at the fight, so the second the fighter gets knocked down, the whole crowd cheers, and he goes in and he shows us 30 people pickpocketing at the point that the guy, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, how many times have you been in a fight and going, yeah? And the people, they sit and they wait for that moment of complete distraction and right into your bag, right in, and he's going around. I'm like, this is insane. People don't even know that this is happening around us.
Right, next question.
We
gentlemen.
just made 400 pounds. Just now, they
Yeah,
have no
Apollo's
idea.
like working his way around the back there. You thought he'd gone, he's here. Can you stand up, sir, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Mark O'Connell from film-reviews.net.
Hey, what's up, man?
Since you've learned how to sort of read people more and do all these tricks, have you been to Vegas? Have you tried your skills out?
Yeah, well, I went to Vegas with Apollo, which is a different way to go to Vegas. Well, first of all, because nobody allows you to go in anywhere with Apollo. It was like, no, he can't come in here. But he had me to try to, he said, listen, he wanted me to walk into a store, and he said, I want you to just pick something up, put it in your pocket, and walk out. And what you realize is it takes such courage to even try that, because I'm Will Smith, like it's like that's a pretty good distraction. Right? So
Surely they're just like, have it as well.
yeah,
They're just like, have it.
Yeah,
Take
I know.
it, take it.
But it's terrifying. It takes such absolute ice water in your veins to put your hand in some bucket or grab something and take it. But it is. I realized, and what I learned with the character, it's also a thrill. It's like jumping out of an airplane. It's like speeding in a car. It's like being that close to someone turning around and saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's like that is a serious addictive kind of thrill.
Let's hope you're not going to continue that in daily life. That
Oh, I'm done with this movie stuff.
We've got a lady here. Can you stand up, please? Get my mic just there. And then we'll walk away over.
Hi, well,
That's a lovely outfit. I like that.
thank you. It's a top and a skirt. A lot of people confuse it for a dress.
Sorry, yeah. You're right, yeah. My mistake.
Don't you ever make that
My
mistake
mistake,
again.
yeah. Yeah.
He did just say outfit.
I'm sorry. Security?
My name's Kim. I'm from IGN. I'd like to ask you, this from one character here with a special gift to the forthcoming Suicide Squad. You've played a superior before in Hancock, and all three characters have dubious morals. But how would you say each differs?
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I think how do they differ? That's interesting. I hadn't even thought about those as one. I guess I like the concept of dubious morals. I always like to play in that area. But the character in Focus, his issue is he is committed to lying, right? He is committed to wearing a mask and no one ever knowing who he is, and the idea that you can't have love if you're lying. You can't have that thing that we all search for if you're not being authentic and living without the mask. So morally, he's made a decision that being a liar is the only way he can survive.
Protects himself that way,
He
doesn't
protects himself,
Yeah.
absolutely. With Hancock doesn't remember, so that's an interesting thing also, not having any memory of who he was. He has no idea what his moral standing was. And then Suicide Squad, that's interesting. We just got started on that, and I think I haven't explored the psychology enough of Deadshot, somebody who can take money to kill people, how he justifies that for himself. So I still have a little bit to work to do on that. But in my life in general and in my career, those are the types of roles that I'm pushing more towards, those kinds of questions. What was interesting for me with Focus now is in my life, my journey is around vulnerability and authenticity. So to have a guy who has just decided to lie was really interesting to test the boundaries of how wide open and how authentic can I be in real life by exploring the other side in a character.
Great, thank you. Gentleman down the front here, can we get a microphone?
And I don't care what you say, it looks like a dress.
Hi, Maxwell Hubbard, Phil Moria. Just wanted to talk to you about the on-screen chemistry. It was fairly electrifying at times. What was the key to that success, or how much of Adrian Martinez had anything to do with that?
I know, I know, yeah.
Potty
Yeah.
knife?
That was a good laugh right there. Like, oh, wow, that was hearty. That was a really good laugh. Yeah, that in a black family, that would be considered a really good laugh.
Really?
Like that's a good, hearty African American laugh you got there.
You can answer the question. Chemistry.
Chemistry.
I mean, there's obviously
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
Well, we've said it a couple of times. It was something neither of us were really expecting, but for some reason, when we walked into the room, we just really got along, and that kind of continued throughout the shoot, and it made every scene exciting and fun. And it's not really something you can manufacture, so it wasn't forced or planned, I suppose. It just existed already, which was handy.
Because we've talked about, like, when Margot came to read for for the role that she didn't think there was any chance that she was going to get it because of how different we are. You know, I mean, I'm
And the long list of actresses I was up against is a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, because when we did, I'm 46 and Margot was 23 when we did it, so it seemed like it wouldn't work in that way. And I'm from Philly, and she's from Australia, so they're pretty different. There's obvious genetic differences.
Yeah, the stealing thing's already in there.
Yeah. But for some reason, it just worked perfectly. You know, when you see it on screen, none of those questions come up. You know, say, oh God, why would they do that? It just like it's like a wonderful puzzle. It works together. It works very well. Very well. I enjoyed myself. I don't know if you had it.
Right.
It was all right. Okay, I figured it was okay for you.
It was great.
Gentleman in the glasses on the second row over here, please. Thank you.
Hello, this is not a dress, by the way.
There's
A question for Margot. It's probably safe to say that the biggest gamble you've taken so far is leaving Australia to go to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
What gave you that impetus? You must feel really welcome, considering the company you're keeping now. And also, if I may ask, can you tell us anything at the moment about the film you're going to be making with Tina Fey?
Currently filming that with the writer-directors of Focus are directing the Tina Fey, untitled Tina Fey project, as it's now called. So yeah, it's really nice to be working with them again and a lot of the same crew members. What was the first part of that question?
He used the word impetus. I don't know what the question was, but impetus was my word for this press conference.
No one is allowed to repeat any word.
Oh,
you
the
say.
gamble, the biggest
Yes.
gamble moving to America. It didn't feel like a gamble at the time. It kind of felt like the only way to keep moving forward. So it just seemed like the logical next step. A big one for sure, and yeah, definitely terrifying. But I did a lot of pre-planning and saved all my money preparing for up to 3 years unemployment, which didn't turn out to be. So yeah, I was lucky.
You're absolutely thrilled, that you've had all these chances so far, the people you're working with.
Totally. I don't know why it's all happening.
He didn't have the microphone
He
for that
didn't,
question. He added a question. That's not fair.
Get out.
That's not fair.
Out.
Man in the lovely red cardigan. Not a dress. Matching socks, though.
Wow, quite smart.
Microphone as
Yeah,
well.
matching mic and
Yay.
everything. Yeah.
Hi guys again. First of all, question for Margot, tricky one. Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith.
Oh,
Who's
come
harder?
on.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get
Who's
me in
harder?
trouble.
No,
I
wait a
can't
minute.
win this.
Wait a minute. Wait, that's a good question.
Answer the question.
That's a good question. Your Honor, will you please instruct the witness to answer the question?
Answer the question.
I can't win with this. Either way, I'm going to get in trouble.
Okay, and then what did you take from working with the very hot Will Smith?
Well, something I took from both of them, and they actually have a few things in common. They have extremely huge profiles, but on set...
But one of our profiles is huger than the others.
trying to give you a compliment
Okay,
here.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
But despite how, I don't want to say it now, but despite that, when they walk onto set, they're extremely professional. They are so courteous to everyone on set. And it just goes to show that if someone in their position can behave that way and be so decent, then there's no one can be a dick on set. Like there's no need for it. So yeah, it was good. It was.
You said dick.
Sorry.
Can you say that in a press conference?
You said anal in our interview yesterday.
Hey, but it wasn't. It was like as a joke.
Okay, gentleman down the front here in the green jumper, please. Well, wait,
How are you,
wait,
sir?
for the microphone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can we see both of you going to Bollywood?
Going to Bollywood. I love. I've been there a few times. I hung out with some of the best. I was there. I think it was it was 4 years ago when Big B wasn't feeling well and everything shut down. And I was like, now this is how actors are supposed to be treated. He wasn't feeling well, and people were at the hospital, and it was like they shut everything down to make sure he was okay. So we could learn some things from Bollywood treatment of actors.
So both of you would be up for it?
I would
would
love
be
it.
so up
It's
for it.
fantastic.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Love that.
We look forward to it.
Lady at the back there, if we can get a microphone to her, please. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, stand up. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lucille from Brussels. And I have two questions, actually, one for Margot and one for Will. You embodied funny characters, dramatic characters. So what was your challenge here with Nikki's character? And Margot, as a woman, why do you think Jess forgave Nikki for being such a loser with you in the beginning?
I think it took her a little while to forgive him, and she kind of punished him. Yeah, about 3 years, and she kind of punished him for a while. I think eventually she just realized that sort of game didn't matter, and she didn't want to play the game anymore. And if he was, willing to give it his all, she would too.
I like that. I'm sorry. I was just thinking Brussels, and I was like, there has to be a Brussels joke. I couldn't find. I wasn't listening to the question.
I don't know. I'm repeating it.
No, you said, funny. You said about being funny. Yes,
Yeah,
you said about being
said
funny.
Funny roles, you have been funny, you have been
Being funny.
dramatic,
You know, I think with this character was really great, and with these directors, it's not straightforward funny. It's like, it's dead serious, and then they manage to figure out how the situation makes it funny, and that's very different from me. You know, I'm from the American sitcom school, right? You know, so for me, you do not make people have to guess whether or not it's funny. You know, you go really hard at it. So it was a little bit of a different tonal quality for me that was fun to play it. It always felt like I wasn't doing anything.
Right, lady here, question, and then we'll go over to the back there.
Hi, Marion Gray from South Africa. Question for Mr. Smith.
Yes.
I know you're involved in charities there. Would you like to say a few words on that? And have you bought your house yet?
No, I was involved with the 46664 Nelson Mandela's Foundation, and there was an interesting. We launched MTV on the continent of Africa. So probably about a decade ago, 12 years ago, we launched MTV with Nelson Mandela's Foundation, and that was one of the most fantastic experiences of my career. And I had found a house there. I loved it so much. We shot Ali, and I was there with Nelson Mandela and Muhammad Ali in South Africa, right? So Mandela on one side and Ali on the other. So it was like absolute certainty that I'm nothing in this world, you know? So, I was sitting there with them, and I'd found a house in Durban. I think it was 2000. It was right before 9/11. And just after 9/11, I thought it was, as an American, I thought that was a bad time to be moving. So we never got the place down there.
Another time. Okay, over here. Gentleman right at the back first, you keep standing up. It was great.
Hey, yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Mohammed from Mark's Meat.
Hey, what's up?
Not with an Ali, though.
All right.
Last night, she asked you, Edith Foreman, that... What?
She.
Yeah.
Mademoiselle.
That lady asked you.
She asked Margaret, has she ever seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? And you said no. How does that make you feel, Will? And
Don't bring it up again, all right?
No. I mean,
I just smoothed this over.
No. I think this is a fantastic time to discuss it.
I think we can talk about this after the press
Christmas
conference.
present, Will. Christmas present. The box
The
set.
box set. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And Margaret, who's a better dancer, Alfonso or Will?
See, he keeps trying to put you.
Will is the greatest dancer there is.
See, there you go. That's what
without
I'm talking
hesitation.
about.
Just in front there. Yeah.
Hi, Adam from Entertainment Wise. Mark, we were just saying about your instincts on set. There's such a shortage of women directors in Hollywood. Is that something you'd be interested in going into?
Yeah, definitely. It's something I plan on doing down the track.
Yeah, she directed a big part of this one.
I swear I'm not bossy in any other aspect of my life. It's just on set, that's all.
And then we'll work our way across here, please, gentlemen there.
Hi guys, Luke here from Wow 24/7. It's about your chemistry. I'm wondering, how much are you guys looking forward to reuniting for the Suicide Squad movie? And how are your characters and chemistry differ in that film compared to Focus?
I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't know what it's going to be character-wise, but...
We don't know what our characters, what the relationship's really going to be. It's ever-changing.
Yeah, but it's really cool. the way that David Ayer works, it's all images, all ideas, and he holds the screenplay, and he just keeps sending you things about your character. He just wants you to be prepared for anything. So
I think we're going to be allies for sure.
yeah, we're definitely allies.
I really, we're not being secretive. We just actually don't know.
Yeah, we actually, he only sends you your character's stuff, so you don't know what's going on with the other characters and things.
Good.
I think he wants it to come alive on set.
When do you start that?
Middle of April, yeah.
Right, okay. Gentleman here. Can you pass the mic along here, please? Thank you.
Hi, Daryl Smith from the Sunday Post newspaper. I don't want to admit this, having just said my name, but when I was 14, I stole a pornographic magazine from a newsagent.
Really?
Yeah. And I just wondered...
I could have guessed that.
It was pre-internet, really.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if you two have ever a similar story on your past where you've
I steal
something
pornos all the time.
Yeah.
It's a filthy habit I can't shake. No, I've never stolen anything.
Why is it that you think that con men films, we still have the sympathy with the con artist as audiences?
That's interesting. Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit.
It's kind of easy to find empathy with the protagonist of a story because you're hearing and seeing everything from their perspective, I think.
Yeah.
I think people have a particular fascination with con and heist films because there is something a little dangerous about it, and perhaps it's our way of living vicariously through someone else.
Mm-hmm. I think there's also the idea that in these films, if you're going to steal something, you're stealing something from someone who has a lot, and most times it's someone who would be unwilling to share. So I just think deep inside of all of us, everyone kind of feels like the Robin Hood. Yeah, the Robin Hood sort of feeling, and you'd love for when someone gets their comeuppance.
Okay, gentlemen.
Don't anyone use comeuppance in this?
We'll have two words
That's
for today,
right.
and that's the
Impetus
second.
and comeuppance are mine for today.
Just trying to rattle through as many as we can.
Good
one.
Will Smith, if you have finished a movie and it's out and it's successful, everyone waits the next time for a movie which is even as good or better.
Yeah.
Isn't this a hard thing? How do you find your stories? Do you have a brain trust?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, in your movies you always have the most beautiful partners. Don't you have problems at home?
That was very funny. The first part of the question is they're always trying to top what you did last time. I have stopped doing that. That was a thing for me. I was in a really competitive place for a good large part of my career where everything has to be number one, and it has to do $500 million around the world and all of that, and it stopped being fun. You know, it was a whole lot less fun, and now I've sort of settled into a place emotionally where I just want to create. I want to be with great people. I want to have fun and not concern myself with the outcome of the movie. Less goal-oriented and more path-oriented. And the other side, it's funny what Jada found out that Margot was doing the movie, and we looked, and we go on the internet, and we looked to see pictures of Margot, and she looked at Margot, and she said, "You better get in the gym." She said, "Do not embarrass me on camera with that girl. Get yourself together."
Man in the back row there, please, and then we'll come to the lady to you.
Hi, I'm Yagos from Greece.
Hey.
After Focus, are you still trusting people? And is there a trust issue in Hollywood?
A trust, you know, it's funny what I realized, and it was good and bad in Focus, is everybody's running a con, you know, and that was one of the first things that Apollo said. He said, when you think in these terms, you have to understand every single person is running a con. Everyone wakes up in the morning, you choose your clothes, you choose what you say, you choose where you go, you're choosing everything not based on authentically who you are. You choose the things you choose to have the outcome that you want. You hide the parts of yourself that you don't like, you accentuate the parts of yourself that you do like, and then you just make up some things to pretend like you are, to pretend that you're certain things that you're not in order to achieve the goals. So for me, in that, it became very easy to work through trust, because you know that when you're starting in the beginning and you meet someone, you know that your first 3 or 4 months of interaction with that person are going to be full of facade. So you learn to see through. And what Apollo taught that was really interesting is generally the things that people accentuate are the exact opposite of what the truth is. You know, so if a person like me, for example, I'm really loud and I'm out and all of that, so that's a sign that there is an insecure side. And the more loud and the more bright that a person is, the more the 5-year-old little boy inside of there is scared and nervous. You know, the more that someone is sexy and does all of that, the more that you know that the other side of that is a part of what the truth of the inner psychology is. So it starts to be easier, and you can trust people more actually once you're aware of that.
Great. And lady here at the back, and then we'll come down to you in the front in a second.
Thank you very much, Celia from Spain. I have a question for you. Do you like to gambling? Now that you have you learned some tricks, obviously it's no legal, but maybe the psychological thing, you can take advantage now after knowing that people are so predictable. And this is a petition, it's not a question. I mean, I see your faces, I see your bodies, I see even your teeth in a big screen. Please make us a favor, being together, just improve the human evolution.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to get started on that.
Straight away.
Well, you know, as actors, and when you're telling stories, a big part of that, if you get to the real core of it and you get to the most human part, that's what the attempt is. You're trying to create something that creates conversation, that creates a new way to look at the world. And the basis of storytelling is to transfer human ideas and wisdom. So at the core of that, the major attempt is always human evolution.
Great answer. Lady in the front row, please. We can get a microphone to her.
Okay.
Hi, my
Hey.
name's Harriet from Zoom Magazine.
Stand up.
Hello, Harriet.
I'm Harriet from Zoom Magazine. If you were to pull off the ultimate con, I was just wondering, what would it be? And out of your celebrity friends, who would you want to tag along?
Oh, wow.
You've got more celebrity friends than I do. Your answer.
So pulling off a con, what would the con be? That's interesting. I don't know what the con would be that I would want to pull.
To try and convince someone you're not Will Smith would be a pretty big
Yeah, that would be a pretty big con. Well, that would be easy. I would just cover my ears, you know. As soon as I cover my ears, I'm not Will. No, that is funny. It's like I'm all silhouette. People recognize me from around the corner. The little piece of my ear is sticking out around the corner. It's fantastic. It's an American thing too. People, when you have the ears, me, Barack, Mickey Mouse, it's a thing where people just love the ears.
They need a hat, Will Smith and Mickey Ears hat
I know.
type thing. Yeah. Okay, can we go over to the gentleman there and then the lady next to you?
Hey guys, Will, question for yourself. You mentioned before about getting into the studio, working with Kanye West.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility of potentially doing a world tour, or is that even plausible at all? And Margot, I actually just wanted to ask as well, a couple of years ago, and no disrespect to Ramsey Street, but look where you are right now. Do you have to pinch yourself and go, holy shit, how did this happen?
I was pinching myself when I was on.
We don't do
I
that
was
in
pinching
America.
myself when I was on Neighbours, and yeah, I'm definitely still pinching myself now. Each were equally as exciting at the time.
Yeah, for music. Oh yeah, so I went in the studio with Kanye a couple times. I don't know, just exploring. You know, he's pushing me a little bit, but I haven't.
What happened to that rap you started writing?
Shh.
When we.
You're not. Why are you? I would just.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Though?
Yes. So yeah. So Margot's
Together?
heard. She's heard one or two things. That,
No, you were
on the
together?
movie, I was.
When we were filming,
I was
he's-
working. Stop.
yeah.
You come on.
I'm just curious what's happening with it.
But
that's
I
all.
don't know what's happening with it.
It
I
was
haven't
really
made the
good.
decision yet to make. So, but I always record. I've never stopped recording. So I always make songs and records, and I let Margot hear something, which obviously was a mistake.
It's such a great reception when you sing out.
I know, it's so crazy.
Would you do any gigs in London, Dublin?
Oh yeah, no. If I can find something, I want to find that well. It's really hard. It's like you get rusty. So it's like I have thoughts and I have ideas. I have things that I want to say, but artistically and poetically, I can't get them to come out of my pen. So if Kanye has his way, I will definitely do some recording this year.
Or Calvin, you did your Tina Park last year in Scotland with Calvin.
Oh yeah. So Calvin, I went. I was trying to get inspired. So I have people I go and hang with. I did a couple weeks out with Calvin Harris last year, and I'm just trying to find that thing.
Gentleman in the front here. Oh, sorry, you got Mike. You go first, then pass it in front.
Okay.
First, props to Jada because you looked amazing in this.
Oh, great.
I think every girl would agree with that. But you mentioned the age gap, and I think person of your age, you look amazing. But do you still feel that? Yeah, there's women who get a lot of pressure to look good, but you as a man, do you feel that now at your age there is a lot of pressure for you to maintain your fitness if you're going to be starring opposite women half your age?
Yeah, it gets more and more difficult. I used to be able to eat whatever I want, and then in 6 weeks I could get in any shape I wanted to get into. But that's not the case anymore. We're around the 12 or 14 week mandatory training to do anything. But I love it. I enjoy the discipline of it. For me, working on your body is the beginning of everything. Your mind starts to work better, you're a better husband, a better father, a better friend, and life is just better when you care for your body at the highest level.
Great, thank you. And gentleman in front, if you could pass the mic, please.
Hi, I'm on from Anonymous and DIY Film. My question is for Will. There's a great love story and back and forth between yours and Margot's characters in the film. As someone who's played a date doctor in Hitch, what do you think Hitch would have made of Nikki's efforts in this film?
Oh my God. Yeah, Hitch wouldn't have worked with Nikki. I think that was part of the fun of this character. I worked so hard and so much reading and studying and marriage counseling and parental books and doing all of that to figure out the right way. So to play a character who just does it all wrong, that just every step of the way, the most insane choices, and no spoiler alert, but the choice in the middle of the film, with Nikki and Jess is generally irretrievable. That's just a mistake that you'll never get beyond that one. And then after that, to realize that he's still in love, it's like, dude, what are you doing? But it was it's fun for me to play those things. But Nikki's a mess.
Guys, thank you so much. That's all we've got time for today. Huge round of applause, please, for Margot.
Thank
And to you guys, thank you very much.
Thank you all. Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys,
Is that
yeah.
from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey